prosperity for the entire region.
Right from the very beginning, we all realized how fundamentally important it was that Capitol View become a reflection of the people, the traditions, the history, and the culture, and all of those textures that are associated with the Capital Region. Through this vision, we've been able to create a very unique and distinctive environment in which all of our guests and nearby residents are not only going to have that sense of familiarity with the project, but also a sense of pride and ownership and authorship with the entire destination. From the approach to the scale of the resort, the uniqueness of the architecture, the distinctiveness of the interior design, the entire guest experience. All these things reflect that this is the right plan for the right place.
When people think of Churchill Downs, they think of the Kentucky Derby and horse racing. But there's actually much, much more to our company. We've been building casinos all over the country for a long time. And whenever we take on a new project, there's one rule that our team lives by, and that is be good partners with the community. We're investing in the community, we're working with the community. Our mantra is to make the community a better place for us having been there.
Location. The Capitol View location is the best in the Capital District. Perched high atop Thompson Hill, we have beautiful sweeping views of New York's capital city. We are poised from this position to be the catalyst for the economy in the entire region. When you look at our location, you can see the wonderful access we have through the roadway system throughout New York. It starts with the thruway system, I-90, 787, 87, and 88. We have very, very excellent access via the roads. Although I will tell you, on my trips here, our offices are in downtown Albany. I learned that the shortest distance between 2 points, there and there, for example, is not always a straight line. The shortest distance between those 2 points is up I-787 and I-90. There's a terrible pinch point right on that bridge when you cross over into Rensselaer. So word to the wise, if you happen to want to cross the bridge and go into Rensselaer and headed for Capitol View, don't do it around rush hour. It's a 7-minute quick trip up 787 to I-90. If we pull back a little bit further and look at our location from a regional perspective, you get a good feel for why we are the best location in the Capital Region. For those dollars that used to exit New York, we are the last stop, situated perfectly on Highway 90. We're an ideal backstop to those dollars. When you think about the dollars that are in other states that are available to come to New York with a new property like Capitol View, here again, we are the first property located across state lines on I-90. A perfect location for a new casino resort in the Capital District. For a more detailed look at finances and economic impact, I'd like to introduce Michael Pollack, Managing Director of Spectrum Gaming.
Thank you, Austin. Good afternoon. Spectrum Gaming Group was tasked with projecting the revenue and the economic impact of the proposal. The net cumulative gaming taxes would approach $1 billion. Now, in terms of employment, we suggest that in all areas it would approach 2,400 jobs, all attributable to this project, including construction work. Now, I note again, with a plan to hire and train existing local residents to get as many of these jobs as possible, we believe the economic benefits would be enhanced. And we also note that the average salary, which would include tips and benefits, would be just shy of $51,000.
With a contractor who understands MWBE. And we are glad that we have Simonelli in that position. Also, we understand that sourcing contractors that are competent and qualified to the project is equally important, and we are staffed and ready to do that as well, along with procurement strategies and reporting. So we will be the MWBE advocate on this project for this team.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Wrap things up and bring it to a close.
Thanks, Austin. Chairman Law and members of the board, we respectfully submit that ours is the best proposal for the Capital Region and New York State. Let me explain why. 5 reasons. We have the best location with the most convenient access of any of the bidders in the Capital Region. That means we've got the best site to keep New York dollars in New York, as well as bring new gaming and tourism dollars into the state. 2, we have an unmatched commitment to our community. And when we say community, we mean the larger community, even beyond East Greenbush, including Albany and Troy. 3, we have a very strong and long history of working with labor unions, which will facilitate the timely construction and then operation of the resort. 4, we have the financial strength and wherewithal, plus the deep balance sheet and operating experience to deliver this resort and sustain it. We don't build to sell, we build to own and grow our communities. 5, we will create thousands of jobs in a community with significant needs, and we will do this while preserving the jobs at Saratoga Casino and Raceway, because we have every incentive to grow the pie with the partnership of Churchill Downs and Saratoga Casino and Raceway, not cannibalize it. After all, we are the team with the deep local roots and local experience. We are already vested in making this region one of growing opportunities. In conclusion, one thing that Dan and I can tell you here today is that if you honor us with a casino license that gives us the opportunity to bring this project to life in the Capital Region, we won't let you down. We will deliver this project on time, and we will operate the resort in a way that will deliver all of the benefits envisioned by the governor and become itself a part of the fabric and history of the Capital Region itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Questions?
Just one statement. Yeah, just one statement, and I would just like to, this is a compliment for breaking out and combining and highlighting MWBE participation in this project. It's something that we've mentioned in our RFP, and I find it, to be an important component of any project, and just wanted to congratulate you on highlighting that.
Thank you.
I have a question. In doing your computation on revenues, did you have an opportunity to take into account what would happen, if anything, if there were casinos, other casino licenses granted south of you? For example, in the Catskills in Sullivan County or in Orange County? I mean, did you take that into account in your projections? And if so, what, if any, impact did you find that might have on your projections?
I think we'd like to have Mr. Pollock join us for that.
Wow, that requires 2 people. That was a good question. Why is becoming to you?
No, they would. We certainly account for them getting a certain proportion.
Okay, so you...
Or outside the community, if you know?
Sure, there has been some of that from inside the community. It's hard to tell exactly where all of it has come from. We've been, from the very beginning, very transparent about what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it, and have very actively engaged in a dialogue with that community. And Brian spoke to that a little bit. The entire building was changed based upon community input, so that we could fit in with that. So those efforts continue. We recently held a career fair so that we can start to talk about the opportunities that would be here if we're honored with the license. A vendor fair, same thing for businesses. So those outreach efforts and those dialogues with the community are going to continue until a decision is made.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the ownership structure of Capital View identical to the ownership structure of Saratoga Harness Racing?
No, there are some differences. The partnership for the Capital Region is a 50-50 partnership, whereas we would have Churchill Downs would have a minority interest in the existing Saratoga Raceway and Casino,
Yeah.
and their associated properties.
Does that create a misalignment of interest in trying to market both facilities, deciding where to put resources?
No, I don't think so. I think that's an excellent question, and it's one that we faced from the very beginning of talking about our partnership. We wanted to create a structure where we were aligned to grow both properties, to make them both successful, and that we didn't get into a paradigm where we were simply trying to take from one to give to the other. So although there isn't perfect alignment in ownership percentage, there's still quite an economic incentive to focus the marketing teams and the marketing efforts on growing the pie instead of trying to cheat and cannibalize it from the Saratoga facility.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, if I could just add one further thing to Chairman Law's question about Massachusetts, I would just supplement Mr. Pollack's answer by noting that our site is closest in the capital region, closest to the Massachusetts border. So to the extent that Massachusetts didn't see casinos, it seems that we would be best positioned to capitalize on that.
One more. Could you explain to me why the Saratoga Raceway Casino is not going to lose customers if you get a full-blown casino in Saratoga? I mean, you keep saying that you're not going to cannibalize the harness track, but I assume the harness track got the casino to begin with because it wasn't drawing enough harness race, maybe I'm wrong, customers. And so what attracted them was the casino. So why wouldn't they, it's not that far away, why wouldn't they come to your beautiful new place here and put Saratoga Raceway maybe in some danger?
Again, sir, that's an excellent question, and let me explain how we look at it, how we think about it. In our view, when you have two complementary properties, two properties in close proximity owned by one ownership team, you always want to give the customer the choice to go wherever they're most comfortable. Sometimes that's a function of the level of decor and finish, and sometimes it's a question of proximity to their homes or to their workplace. So I wouldn't suggest that there aren't customers who are going to leave the Saratoga facility to come to the Capitol View facility. There very well may be, and that's okay. What we want to do is incent customers to go to where they're most comfortable, as opposed to trying to drive their behavior to one facility or the other. So what I meant in my prior remarks is the focus is on growing participation in terms of customer participation in gaming in the region, not convincing people to pick one place over the other.
Thank you.
And if I could add one thing to answer your question very directly, that cannibalism is baked into our number. But we think we are uniquely qualified to manage that competition and to structure the promotions and the marketing between the two properties so that there's a unified offering and we can manage the cannibalism. And what we hope to avoid is what has happened in so many other markets around the country, where you have fierce competition in a constrained market, there's a race to the bottom, where companies are just literally buying visits, and that's not successful or beneficial to anybody. Thank you.
And that's what happened to Revel.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Nice job. Next up will be Hard Rock in Rensselaer, and we'll ask them to be